46 is brought to you by Dr. George Leeks, Pahrumps optometrist since 1990, offering full-spectrum eye care for children and adults. Call today, 727-8300. News is also brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit, Pahrump, where we speak barbecue. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, a crash at Spring Mountain requires Mercy Air to respond. Another cleanup crew volunteers their precious time. And a new music store opens up in town. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Monday, August 29th, 2016. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. A female motorcycle rider was airlifted from Spring Mountain Motorsports following a high-speed crash. The rider was traveling at approximately 80 miles per hour around a curve when the accident occurred. News 46 spoke to Chief Lewis about the crash this morning.
We were dispatched a report of a motorcycle accident that occurred on the track at Spring Mountain Motorsports Way. Crews did a great job there. They had a patient package ready for us. We did a quick evaluation, determined exactly what the speeds were, and found that that patient met the flight criteria. Brought Mercy Air 24 into the scene. That patient was subsequently flown to UMC Trauma.
And Pahrump Valley Fire Rescue Chief Scott Lewis gave us an update on the weekend accidents.
Friday, you started off with a one-vehicle rollover in Clark County, Highway 160 southbound lane, so around mile marker 37. We responded for the rollover, found that in fact it had rolled off the side of the road. One vehicle, one person was transported to the local hospital.
You also had a motorhome near Ash Meadows.
Right, on Bella Vista Road between Pahrump and Ash Meadows turnoff, there was a dust devil that had impacted against the side of a Class A motorhome. Forcing the motorhome off of the roadway, it rolled down into approximately a 30-foot ravine. There was one occupant. He self-extricated. It was not injured, but a fire department remained on location while they prepared to remove that vehicle.
Tell me about the moped accident behind Walmart.
On 5th Street near West, there was a report of a two-vehicle accident. Upon arrival, we found a moped with the rider who was on the ground. He had suffered head injuries. It was indicated that a vehicle may have cut him off. That was being investigated by the Sheriff's Office. While the mechanism met flight wreck criteria, the local helicopter was unavailable due to other calls they were on. They was transported to Desview. It's my understanding that patient was flown out later on with head trauma.
And those are all Friday's events, right?
That was all on Friday.
And Lieutenant Perry from Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue explains about another accident and a brush fire that occurred over the weekend. Around 8:20 on Saturday night, a two-vehicle accident occurred at Calvada and Dandelion Streets. Both vehicles were still in the roadway. No injuries were reported. The intersection was not shut down and traffic was able to divert around the scene. The silver vehicle received extensive front-end damage. The accident was cleared in about a half hour. We spoke to Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Lieutenant Scott Perry.
Just to clean up some oil spills and mitigate some fuels.
There's pretty good damage to these cars?
Yeah, significant amount. It's probably moderate damage.
Lieutenant Perry also told us about a fire which occurred over the weekend as a result of a bird in a power line.
The brush fire was a bird, most likely. Caused fire. It was arced out, the power lines dropped down, got about a 10 by 10 area of brush.
And here's Patti Diamond with Divas on a Dime.
Hi, I'm Patti Diamond with Divas on a Dime, where frugal meets fabulous. And I am on a rant. Since when is mayonnaise $4 and change a quart? If you're like me, you hate to pay that kind of price for anything, especially something that's so cheap and easy to make at home. So let's make mayonnaise. Now, we're making an emulsion here. The oil droplets have to become suspended, and the lecithin has to, well, it's like science and stuff. So be sure to use the freshest eggs you can get your hands on, and make sure that your oil is fresh and good tasting, or your mayonnaise will suck, and that's not very diva. 1 egg yolk plus 1 whole egg, a teaspoon of lemon juice, a tablespoon of vinegar. Now I like cider vinegar, but use whatever you've got. A half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon prepared mustard, and 1 teaspoon of sugar or sweetener, and that's optional, and of course you can sweeten to taste, and 2 cups of vegetable oil. Now this is soybean oil, and it's the cheapest, but you could use canola oil or safflower or corn oil. Now I'm using my blender, but of course you could use a food processor or a glass bowl with a whisk. I have added everything except the oil. Now you're going to blend them together completely, and it should look kind of light and frothy, like this. With the blender running, start adding the oil a few drops at a time. When I say a few drops, I mean a few drops. Remember, this is science. Your patience will be rewarded. Keep adding the oil in a thin stream. It'll start to thicken up in the blender, and you'll be able to hear that. Now don't rush, because this is going to take more than 5 minutes. Now, besides being an excellent sandwich spread, your Divalicious mayo can take potato salad, deviled eggs, chicken salad, coleslaw, up to a whole other level. And you can also flavor this with herbs and spices. Have you seen how expensive flavored mayonnaise is? For example, if you were going to make pork, you could make it with lime juice and some cumin. If you were serving this with fish, you could use a very mild vinegar, like a rice wine vinegar, and add some dill. This recipe will make a pint of mayonnaise for $1.28. Frugal and fabulous. To get the recipe or see the cost breakdown, go to divasonadime.com. Thanks for watching, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Billy!
Thanks so much, Patty. When we return, your Desert View Hospital health tip.